Well, this is an impressive start. Like, because OBS crashed, like, before I even started streaming and such like that. So I was like, right, close it, open it again. And then, yeah, the robot didn't want to do its thing properly. And I am, like, really confused as to, like, why they thought, that was a cool idea. Alright. I also need to double check sources. And then stream deck. Hi there, Morse. Hi there, Masonic. Hawaiian Pizza. Bone. It's good to have you all here. Hopefully this works. Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me as well. And then there's music in the background. What's Hendrix saying? Just Grant, why? I don't know why. I don't know why, okay? Like, it decided to do it. I don't know why it decided to do it. It just, like, I saw, like, for some reason the action, like, it didn't properly go off the first time. There was, like, no bot messages or anything like that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop the stream and I'm going to start it back up again. And for some reason, like, the start stream action went off 3 times instead of only 2 times. So that was, like, confusey as F, so. But yeah. Hello, everyone! Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing all right. I need to double check if... Alright, so predictions.
Bomaska Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
No, I don't want to... My ass is sore. I don't want to do squats. My ass is sore. I don't want to have to do squats. Can I choose not to? Hang on. Alright, so foreground elements is the core. Alright. Hang on. I need to get a particular scene up. I need to see if this... Predictions, okay. I'm gonna put you all the way down the bottom.
Dog has added quote number 375. My ass is sore, I don't want to have to do squats.
Yep. Knowing my luck, I need to do squats, though. Alright. Fine. Hang on a second. It is going to be a slide up. And then it's going to be a slide down. I'm just, like, fixing some things. And then... Alright, so... No, I need to put that above the, I need to put that above all the, nonsense. I need to put that here. Nope, not in there. I need to put that here. There we go. Alrighty. I wanted to try and get, like, a prediction, like, overlay, like, shown or something, but I had to be, like, really silly. Alright, let me do my 20 squats. Let's see how my butt feels after trying to do 20 squats. Why do you need my pixels, Masonic? Why does everyone need me to break? Ow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, don't throw, like, fart clouds at me. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Bone. Thankfully, my ass didn't hurt when doing the 20 squats. It's still, the knees doing all that nonsense. No, I wasn't the one that was farting. Shut up. All right, let me hydrate for Hendrix. Why is the TTS thingamadiggy not working either? Oh, because there's an update. What is the update to the TTS? Let me know. Let me see. Hi, Luna. Maintenance release. Various things planned for SpeakerBot. Twitch event, tweaks to how Twitch retries timers are handled. Tweaks to TTS, the refreshes voices after initials, update to libraries. Now uses the events. All right, yep, sure. Let's download the new speaker bot. Alrighty, what did I miss? Hang on. So, more sent their duck.
Boobies!
Don't you hate it when OBS goes brr? Bone is upset. Hendrix wants a Jedi maid outfit. We're not doing a maid outfit. We are gonna... I want to do a Jedi outfit, though. That is actually a legitimate thing I want to do. I want to try and make a Jedi outfit. Cookie for Hawaiian. Here we go. Galender. Hello. Hello. Sonic with the boobies. So yeah, I'm also going to adjust the volume on my side. I don't need to have it full volume. Ugh. Why am I so out of breath? Why am I so tired? Like, I don't know what it is with me this week, chat, but I've just wanted to sleep. You ever had those days where, like, maybe you had, like, a full day of work or something like that, like you're 9 to 5 or you're 8 to 4, you finally get home, it's 6 o'clock, and you just want to, you know, you just want to get into the bed. You might have your phone, or maybe you're a rich folk with a tablet or an iPad, and you're just watching like your TikToks or your movies on there. Maybe you just got a case of the Fridays. It's not even like it's not even a proper Friday for me. Like, I have to go into work the next day. I still have to do Saturday shifts once in a while, so that's happening tomorrow. iPads, Hendrix says. Hey. You can't go hating on the iPad just because you don't have... Wait, unless, Hendrix, do you have an iPad? Do you have a tablet? It's cop rules. You have to tell me if you have a tablet. Maybe it's your massive pecs? Maybe. Maybe there's just so much energy taken out of me now, especially since I'm, like, back on the wagon of, like, you know, not eating fast food every evening, that I'm just, you know, downright tired and trying not to... you know, eat more than is required to get through my day. The tragedy that I must contend with. Just 2 phones and a PC and a laptop. Look at this guy with a PC and a laptop. Chat, we're gonna point at Hendrix. Is there a point emote? Hang on a second. There we go. We're gonna point. You're gonna point at Hendrix. Back where I had these days, I just slept over 14 hours. Oh my goodness, Gallon, that sounds amazing. I don't get 14 hours sleeps on the daily. I get, you know, I have an app that tells me. I have a sleeping app that tells me, because I used to, you know, have this problem where I might fall asleep or feel sleepy at work or something, and I didn't want to do that. So I started using a phone app to tell me how many hours of sleep I get. Let's see, 7.5 hours this morning. The one where I went to bed early, for some reason this thing thinks I, like, slept for another, like, bit, like I slept until 8:30. Oh wait, no, 8:30 p.m. to 6:49. Yeah, no, that's correct. So that one's 9 hours, 7.5, 6.5, 7.5, 7 hours. I'm hitting like 7.5, 7 hours, depending on, like, you know, how things are. There's no guarantee, but it is what it is. You have a PC and a phone, so you'll be on the PC, but use the phone for chat and socials? Needies. So, just, I do, but it's fucking stupid. Wait. Oh, phones, meaning the tablet. So yeah, it just, the last few days, I've just been going into bed early. I've not been keeping up with social. I've not been, like, going into, like, some of the other streams, like, Kusaki's or Z's, and, like, seeing what they're up to and shit. Or, you know, I'm not even hounding Blue right now of, like, hey, Blue, how's grabbing things from Whatsamahoozy from March of Machines? How's that going? What did you pull? Like, I haven't asked them that. 7 hours sounds good. Yeah, but I want more than 7 hours. I want more. I want, like, isn't, like, the magic, like, 9 hours of sleep or something? Like, that's what they tell you to try and get? Like, they want you to be asleep for night. You need to get up in 7 hours, too. Oh, my... Oh, Hendrix needs to get up in 7 hours as well. Oh, my goodness. Hendrix, get some sleep. Go to sleep, Hendrix. Enjoy the times that you're in bed. It doesn't matter if you spend half your life in bed. That's a statistic that everyone is going to hit. Just get the sleep. Cherish it. Embrace it. Just love the pillow and just wrap it and just drift. It would be fucking amazing is what it would be. So amazing. So cool. The magic sleep number stuff was proven to be bullcrap. I still want more. Quite frankly, I still want more. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. All right, hang on. I am going to do some... So, thingy-majiggy. Sources. Set source visibility. So, it is going to... So, we're going to go into predictions. And it's going to be the prediction thingy-majiggy. We're going to make it visible. Test. No, not the prediction summary. Toggle test. So not that one. Predictions. Test. There we go. That's the one I want to make this one. I want to have... Oh, actually, you know what I should do, actually, is... Hang on a second. Hang on. I need to fix that. I want to make it so that, you know, when I start a prediction or something like that, you guys will, like, see a thingy. So then that way, like, if you're not in the chat, but you're just watching visually full screen, you can be like, oh, hang on, there's a prediction going off. I would like to see. What does Grant think he's going to do? Give me a moment, please. Filters, cropping, and pad. Okay, so we need to crop out the top. Yeah. All right, so... Do I just go 90? Okay, no, 90 is too far. And give it, no, too much, so, no, 50. All right, 50, 90 seems to be a good number. And plus there's like a little bit of a gap, so that should be good. All right, so we're making it visible, and then there's going to be a delay for... so 60, 1, 2, 3. There's going to be a delay for 60 seconds. And then duplicate this. And then it's going to be hidden afterwards. So toggle that. This is all to create like a little, but you already have chat. I do already have chat. But I want to have like a, I want to have a thingy-majiggy for, you know, when I start predictions and such. Because I created like a really quick prediction button for then when I get into a fight or something like that, I can just quickly press it and be like, all right, we're gonna start a prediction of like, am I gonna succeed in this fight or not? Because I feel like that would be I wanted to add something cool. I wish it was, you know, a little more, you know, in line with like some sort of theme or being able to customize it, but I'll just have to make do with what it is. So there's that. Small update, I've not yet gotten the new CPU yet, so I am definitely going to check up with Throne to see whether or not, like, because they were like, oh yeah, it's either going to be like April 14th or May 7th, and I'm like, cool. I was fine with that, so I'm probably gonna like send a request like tomorrow, like when I'm at work or something like that, of like, you know, I want to update. It will be like the third time I'm asking, and I don't like asking this often, especially if, because like I asked when it was like first like ordered or whatever, and then I waited 2 weeks, checked again, nothing. I don't want to like, you know, regularly, you know, interrupt and be like, hey, where's my CPU? Because they're saying like, oh, there could be issues. Like I could be banned from using their thing if I spam the requests. And I don't want to spam the requests. I want to like, you know, I want to be able to still use their thing. I don't want to get in trouble for spamming it or what have you. So, yeah. There's that. All right. Ding, dong, bing, ding. Minimize this. Keep this going. I am going to need to swap over the screens because we're going to be playing a Jedi game. And then I'm going to hit pause. And I need to stop the what's-a-who's the intro fighters. Who won? Congratulations, Masonic, on getting 7 kills and being the last man standing at this point. Congratulations. Nice work. So yeah. So a little background. I've already played this game. I know what happens. If you guys haven't seen what happens, I'll try not to spoil anything for you. While you're using Star Wars with a mouse and keyboard, for the best experience, a controller is recommended. Yes. I have one right here. Do you want me to, like, just unplug it and plug it back in, please? Oh, hang on. Nope. That's why. Thank you for the alright. Accept. There we go. I've already played this game. I already have, like, gone through, like, the story. No, I've only done it once. I've not done, like, New Game Plus or anything like that. Alright. So, brightness. Let's go with a flat 3. Stereo speakers, headphones, 5.1. I'm gonna go with headphones. Because that's what I'm wearing right now. And I expect that's what a lot of people are wearing. So yeah, I played this game when it first came out. I enjoyed this. I had quite a lot of... Hey, Hawaiian! No, it wasn't Hawaiian who did it. Hawaiian's just doing the silly emotes. Hendrix! I want my shirt back. You better give it back when I'm no longer hyper himboed. Please. He's probably not gonna give me my shirt back, is he? But yeah, I played this, you know, when it first came out. I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan. I like, if you guys weren't aware, well, actually, I feel like most people who are still watching me have seen me, you know, rant on about Star Wars shit, prequels, sequels, and original trilogy stuff. I don't know all that much about Legends, I'll be real with you. Because, you know, Disney doesn't give a shit about Legends until they want to, you know, grab some cool idea from Legends and put it into the, you know, the Disney canon. But, you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm glad that we were able to get, like, a cool Jedi Knight. I just feel a little, you know, sad because, you know, I don't know if we're going to get Cal Kestis after, Thank you for the follow, Galender. Don't know why there wasn't a sound for it, but thank you. You pre-ordered the next game already? I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I am tempted to do so. Maybe when I get paid by Twitch, the money is going to go into pre-ordering the game because I want to get all the cool outfits and such. Because in this game, all I got was a fucking poncho. Players who want to focus more on story and desire a minimal combat challenge. Players who are new to melee action and desire forgiving combat. Players who are familiar with melee action games and desire a challenge. Do we do this with Master? Because I like how everything is balanced. I like how everything is balanced here, like the parry timing. Let's see, aggression. Like, this one has higher parrying timing. I feel like Knight is where I want to be, though. They say I can adjust it afterwards, so... And I don't think there's any, like, achievements that are based on, oh, like, unless you do, like, Grandmaster or something like that. It's like, I don't think there's any achievements that are like, oh, you did it on Padawan, you did it on Knight, you did it on Master. I don't think there's anything like that. So, plus, this will be, like, a really good test to see, like, what does the game feel like playing while I am streaming? Because I still do not yet have the new CPU, so this might be like a nice little tester to see, like, you know, does it feel choppy playing this? Do I look choppy when playing this? Like, will I be able to play Survivor on the PC, or am I going to be playing Survivor on the PlayStation? So there's, like, less likelihood of, like, glitches and what have you. Already I can see, like, you know, some glitching. Also, why wasn't there the... Okay, hang on a second. Camera shake. No. We do not need camera shake. Chromatic abrasion? Sure. Motion blur? Actually, no. Camera shake, yes. Motion blur, no. let's make it full screen. Maximum frame rate, we'll go 60. Virtual sync, dynamic resolution scaling. Okay, it thinks I can do it at Epic. I will leave it at Epic. Shared a clip of the Jedi Survivor that shows some customization in your video and clips. Excellent. Thank you, Hendrix. Game volume. Let's just make that a little bit. Let's make that 75. Music will go 55. Effects will go 80. Dialogue is as such. Dynamic range is default. Is there a subtitles? Visible enemies only. Disable button mashing in QuickTime events. Disable UI input holds. Auto lock targets in combat. Auto climb climbable walls. Subtitles. There we go. And then 10% letterbox opacity, and we make it English. And there's our boy. Cal, you can have a mullet in the next game. I am not gonna have a mullet in the next game. Dun, 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 dun. I like the customization looks a lot more extensive in the next game compared to this one. Because I'm gonna be real, this game does not have that much in customization once you get past the lightsaber.
Listen, I don't want to upset your rhythm, Cal, but the boss wants a word. It's gonna be good for us. Here he is, Chief.
Oh, cool, he's got like a little scar.
An error has been detected on line 10A. All our clamps are jammed. I need two workers to climb up and secure the cables.
That's not an easy maneuver.
The guild will double your pay for this shift.
Come on, Cal. Well, extra score? That couldn't hurt. Huh?
Double pay is also like...
All right, let's go.
When you start getting into full-time, hearing double is a huge number.
I'm right behind you.
Maybe double in like casual doesn't sound like a big thing because, you know, they do like time and a half or double pay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Spend money if you're dead.
Them crazy riggers can't even understand that.
Oh. Can I? Oh, I can't double jump in this. At least not yet, anyway. There we go. And here comes... Okay. I did not know that that separatist ship... I thought the separatist ship they were talking about was down there. I do not remember that ship.
Breaking her will be big money.
That's cool.
All right.
We got all these Venator classes, like, you know, down there, which is pretty cool. Oh, this is cool. They do an impressive job. Alright, onwards. And then this is secret. Oh, come on.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Ladder's out, though.
Yeah, no problem. I'll improvise.
Slide in.
Barge immediately. You are not approved trash.
I'm trash, just not approved trash.
Good humor there, Cal. Alright. Yep. Alright, cool. I have moments to, you know, just... Yunk! Alright, and then... There we go. I haven't yet pressed anything else other than A. But yeah, how's it looking for you, chat? It's looking good? Looking fun? I'm just like, you know, having my boy,
Just passing through.
you know, do his like thingy, like getting ready to juke it out. Alright, and then... Yep, left trigger is the climbing thing. Dink.
Hurry up. We're close to finishing ahead of schedule. I can just about taste the credits.
Oh, it's orange,
It's gonna
not
be a wild
red.
night tonight. Let's get this job done.
And yep. Jump across. Oh. Not good.
Reckless, Cal.
Good to see you.
You too. Don't get yourself killed.
That's the idea.
You set it to auto grab on climbs? Yeah, fair. I might do that on like the next one, but I don't know. I feel like the climbing part is a little bit of the puzzle here. You can see everything all right? Excellent. So, yeah. Man. This is cool. Up here's... Oh my god. So, yeah. So these would be all like Gen 2 sort of clone trooper helmets and such. Interesting that we haven't seen any Gen 1s. Alright. Is that a thing? The press button to not let go of the wall you already grabbed? It was a little frustrating. I think it's just more of a case of like, you know, at least it's like the left trigger instead of holding like, say, X or B. So, and what's more is, I think it's more for, you know, when you're jumping from one thing to the other to indicate you want to do a grab. Like, I don't have to hold on to the left trigger anymore. Like, this is all, you know, just by pressing jumps and what have you.
Hey, Cal, I'll meet you at the clamps.
Sounds good.
The clamps! The clamps! Or a clamp-like device. Anyone seen Futurama? Jump. So yeah. And then, yeah, there I am again. And then jump. Oh, I didn't even have to do the left trigger for that one. So yeah, the left trigger is only there for, like, you know, if there's a danger of dropping, I think.
How'd you get here?
How'd you get here?
Huh?
How'd you get here? Alright, and then jump. Oh. Alright, so gotta time that jump. And then there we go. You can auto grab the climbable walls instead of the left trigger. I'm fine with, you know, I'm fine with the left trigger as is. So, besides, I don't have trouble with like the jumping or the puzzles in games like these.
Look, the ship cutter is here. There it goes.
I'm expecting like a giant.
Yep, good looking out.
I was expecting like a giant laser to pop up, but I guess that's not happening. Okay, cool. All kinds of ships. Clankers. Jeez. Oh my god. I would not want to be the clone trooper that, you know, took a fucking laser to the head. Look at that. At least it doesn't look caved in and shit. But oh my goodness. I feel like that would have been a terrible time. Alright. I think... Do I climb up this thing? Yes, I climb up this thing. Up we go. Like, look at that. Like, he's just using his arms to climb up that thing. Like sure, he uses his... Like, he's not even using his feet to hold it in place or something like that. He's just, like... Just no feet for, like, safety reasons. Absolute insanity. The helmet doesn't look damaged. Droids don't often have the best blasters.
Hurry,
Yeah.
we gotta finish before they start cutting this wing.
I don't know, like, clones and droids, like, I feel like in the Clone Wars, they made them, like, very dangerous and such like that, because, you know, they weren't dealing with like Jedi shit where it's like, or you didn't have like Jedi people like normally in the crossfire, and normally if you did have Jedi involved, it was for when, you know, forces were overwhelmed and such, and, you know, you were always more in, you know, the point of view of the clone trooper, or in this case Ahsoka here and there.
Cal, use the manual override lever below.
Cool. Oh, this button.
Got it. Your turn.
Alright. Who needs legs when you have the Force to help you climb? Yeah, but this kid's traumatized. Like, he doesn't have the Force. Like, at least, like, not to, like, you know, a big helpful degree right now. Like, the Force helps him with, like, double jumping and shit, but we don't have that yet.
I got this.
There we go.
Done. Get out up here.
Yeah, the Battle Droids 1, yeah, they are the cheap ass ones, sure, but they're still dangerous.
Here, what, 4 years?
5.
Whoever flew this went down in a blaze of glory. Those Jedi. A real tragedy. I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
Guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material out of it. Yeah, here we are, scrapping these ships from the war.
I don't know if this is just because Dave Filoni does this to every IP, or he's doing this to, like, every time we're gonna have Star Wars shit, especially, like, after the prequels. I don't know if he's done any contribution to this, but I feel like every Star Wars IP, like, we're gonna get through, we're just gonna have Order 66 trauma popping up. We had it popping up in The Mandalorian because of both Din Djarin. Cookie for Hendrix! For both Din Djarin... sorry, not Din Djarin for Order 66. We had the Separatist attack for Din Djarin. We had Order 66 for Grogu. We got Order 66 again in the last season of the Clone Wars. We got Order 66 in Tales of the Jedi. We just have, like, all... And then we got Order 66 most likely gonna happen to us... Oh, it happened in Rebels. I feel like every IP we're gonna get, if it's ever gonna be stuff that's, like, between prequels and original trilogy, or between original trilogy and sequels, we just have to get Order 66 and get reminded of, like, yes, this is a serious traumatic event. There's no other event we're gonna reference in Star Wars because Disney doesn't accept any of them else existing.
You really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us free like this, could be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me. Eventually, you gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny.
He was... Uh-oh. Pretty sure that means that wing is coming cut off.
You're not listening to me, though. What is that?
Oh, not good. Alright, hang on. Now we do the fun, like, you know, sliding around, trying not to hit our ass on things as we go. You think there would be a point where you did, like, stand up and just start running down if you could. Oh, that's lucky.
You okay?
Cal! I can't climb up!
Bro, just hang on.
Send me!
No, don't let go.
I can't hold
There's the fucking probe droid, like, just hiding behind there. Just waiting for us to do that. Waiting for us to save our like, buddy.
You okay, bro?
I'm alright.
You okay, bro?
Pilot's gone.
I don't know why. Like, there's nothing... There's nothing to, like, you know, support this. But I don't know if it's because of Cal Kestis or because of the actor. I can't remember his name. He just feels strongly Californian. Like, surfer bro. Like, because of the windswept hair. Even when he, like... And then when he went for, like, the really short crew cut during, Shameless, still had that vibe. Even though there's nothing to support it. You didn't even notice the drone when you played? Oh no, the drone's there! We saw it at the start. It didn't really follow us or anything like that, but you see it just behind all, like, this. So, that's, like, I noticed that on my first go, because I was like, oh, that's not good. They're just gonna watch us die.
What was that back there? Was that you?
Let's pretend it wasn't, and, you know...
was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please,
No,
trust
but
me.
I've seen the stories. I've heard it. There's bounties out on people.
Is this the outer rim? Like, we can't be too far out. Like, because if they're salvaging Separatist and Republic, like, stuff, I don't imagine they would, like, you know, offset it to the Outer Rim. Because the Outer Rim is meant to be, like, you know, super wild and shit. And meanwhile, like, Mid-Rim, like, sure, is very broad, but Mid-Rim is more, you know, when you're starting to get, you know, it's still out in the sticks for some people. But, you know, you got the Scrapper Guild and shit.
Holding up okay?
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Night-night. Not to worry, Hendrix. Thank you for coming along.
Kel, I've been working with you some time now. I've never seen you do anything like that before. We've been through some hell together. So, I know the risk that you took for me. I don't know how to repay you.
Don't mention it. I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. But this place,
We'll chew him out.
it's not safe. Maybe you should, you know...
It's a shame they don't...
Just gotta head back to my place, grab my bag. Tappers owes me a favor.
I heard he was up on, Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, that underbelly.
Seen me for a while, Prof.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, Kel.
No, don't fall asleep on a train. That is a terrible... I don't know who... Okay, I don't care how long the train is. You do not fall asleep on a crowded train. You can fall asleep on, like, maybe a, on like a relatively empty train, but if it's crowded, no. There's just way too much going on. You're not gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna likely either lose shit or a friend or get stabbed. Like, look at us. We've now lost our friend. Could be anywhere, so we're just gonna, like, you know, start going down this direction because the Force tells us to. Oh, there's Prof. Looking all, like, you know, scaredy and shit. And then people just randomly fucking disappearing. After Order 66, all are sneaky. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I like that we get, you know, Jedi and what have you, like, between the prequels and the original trilogy, but... One. I know that we, like, I like that we get more Jedi and what have you between prequels and original trilogy, but there comes a bit of a shelf life problem with them, because number one, you can't have too many Jedi still out and about, because then that downplays the whole, you know, insidiousness of Order 66 and how effective it was in catching the Jedi off guard and capturing them and such like that. So, but Cal Kestis, I feel like, is a nice, like, middle point of, you know, he was with his master, and he was just a Padawan. The only reason he's alive is because his master, like, succeeded in keeping him safe and what have you, and despite his master dying in the literal escape pod that they were on, like, he had to basically shut himself off from the Force afterwards. I'm gonna keep pressing this. I know there's an Easter egg. I'm gonna keep... Have I tried knocking? Well, this is it right now. This is me knocking. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna press this 66 times. There is absolutely no reason why I'm gonna go on until the 66th time. It's not as if there would be some Easter egg for doing this 66 times. God damn it. I lost count. How fucking... You think they would, like, try and, like, you know, tone down the number of... I know this is an Easter egg. I know the Easter egg... Yeah! There we go. We got it. And then there's the gold droid. Oh, Jesus. get moving just a little bit faster?
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
Whee! Nope. Oh, he's just awake. There we go. You didn't know about the Easter egg? They had to add something in for trying to open a door 66 times. Oh look, stormtroopers.
Identification ready.
I like how grimy the armor looks compared to, you know, what it looks like in A New Hope.
Contraband inspection.
I'm trying to remember the name of the species, because Zeb from Star Wars Rebels, he's the same species as his master. And, you know, they were like a really cool, like, warrior tribe, or warrior species or something around it, but then they've been, like, basically extinct by the time we get to Rebels. In case you weren't aware, that is the bad guy.
Is this all of them?
Yes, second sister.
We seek a dangerous fugitive. This is no common anarchist, but a devotee of the treasonous Jedi Order. Failure to turn over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition. Turn yourself in, or everyone present shall face summary execution.
I think it's time someone came forward. I've been working on this heap a long time. Way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships.
Now, Lothal is the
Best
name
in
of the
galaxy.
planet.
Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
No.
We
Good
all
thing
know
we
the
have-
truth. We're just too afraid to say it.
Do not stand so close to her.
Empire, we're all just expendable.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
You are.
No!
Look at this. A lightsaber.
I found the Jedi!
Oh, jeez.
Bringing out the disturbance.
Alright, here we go.
Hold it. Don't move.
Lasat! Oh, that's... Wait, isn't that like a martial arts? Like Lasat something?
You don't need to call this in. Quiet. This is TK-8190. Jedi!
Yeah! Man, this felt fantastic to do, like, the first time. Just being able to, like, swipe up a lightsaber. Because we didn't have, like, a lights... Like, other than, like, maybe Battlefront, we haven't had too many, We didn't have too many lightsaber games.
They won't get past us.
Like, we had, like, Battlefront,
Traitor, blast them.
but...
Hit him already. I thought I'd be the last one standing.
There we go.
Contact confirmed. Shoot to kill. Just you and me, scum.
There we are. Hey, it's a conch droid.
You won't kill me. I've sealed the cargo door.
Cool. And then break all these. And then interact with that. But yeah, the Lasats are cool. And then, like, that was probably one of the cooler things to get from, like, Star Wars Rebels, quite frankly. It was a great series. like, the shit Dave Filoni works on is a fucking treat. Alright, Yep, there we go. You love the gong droid? Lol. The whole point of the gong droid is just energy. Like, that's it. They're just a walking battery. Zeb appeared in one of the new Yes! Yes, he did. Not only that, but Steve Bloom voiced him. It was, okay, if you're wondering what, like, they had Zeb, he's part of, like, you know, the Alliance, and he actually even has, like, you know, the blue, like, jumpsuit outfit as well, and he was on, like, the island with the, whatsamahoozy, fella before he went to Coruscant. It was a lovely to see him, that he was still alive and such, and he wasn't just, you know, sticking around with the Lasats.
That's how I prepare. That's how you prepare for death. Rest when you're dead, Stormtrooper. Enemy located. I don't want to die here. No.
Bam. Easy. Hold to block most enemies' attacks. Oh. The only downside when playing this game, however, is just the fact that you don't get... Ow. You don't get, like, cool, like, you know, actually, like, cutting through them. It just feels like, you know... It's like a knife going through, like, Play-Doh or something, instead of, like, a knife through butter. Or, no, a knife through, Jello. It just it turns... or nutritious fluids. It just gets back.
I'll get you. I'm gonna find my opening.
There we go. Oh, it's like this is the training. There we go. I didn't need all that training, but you know. There we go. And then we climb up this thing.
Time to fight.
Easy. Like, it's not gonna be as easy when we, like, finally go against a boss, but I'm liking... Yeah! Nice try. Alrighty, see if we can get through this. Jump. Think they'll let us cut the enemies in half in the next game? I've not seen anything about the combat. I've not gone for a deep dive or anything like that with Jedi Survivor, honestly. I've wanted to try and keep myself, like, as free of influence as possible.
Step back, I've got
Here we go.
You wanna be next? He's on the move. Get the coward. Someone else take him.
There we go.
Now, Jedi.
So I've not kept too. I feel like it might just be the same as this, unless they start, you know, bringing in that, like, because one of the mechanics I think would be cool that some people have talked about in Dungeons and Dragons is, you know how you have hit points and what have you? A lot of people's interpretation is that, oh, the hit points means that you take this many hits, and then, you know, the last one is a killing blow. So you have, like, you know, these very tanky characters or something like that, where it's like, ah, yes, stab, slash, burn, slash, and all this kind of such to dwindle down the hit points. But I think a more interesting mechanic of D&D is maybe the hit points are more rather like, you know, your health in terms of, like, quote unquote luck. So when you're describing so while describing, like, you know, when you're going through combat and such, instead of saying, oh, you get hit by things, it's like, oh, you did, like, there was, like, a close shave of, like, you know, like a club being put at you, and you, like, were able to block it, or the armor took it, or you're dodging it, and still give them, like, oh, yeah, you've taken less and less points in, like, HP and what have you. And then finally, you know, when a hit actually happened, that's when it's like a quote-unquote death hit. I'm wondering if they might do something similar here where you know, Cal Kestis does his, like, you know, swipings and such like that. And as long as we're hitting armor, as long as we're hitting blocks, that's dwindling the health until finally you get to do finishers, and that's the actual, like, slicing and dicing and such. You think you get the Jedi... You get Luke's... You get, like, two things. You get a Luke Skywalker-looking thing and a Han Solo outfit, as far as I know. Those are the two things you get, because you also get a blaster in this game, or in the sequel, from the looks of it.
Whoa, no! Need cover. Gotta move in between bursts. Now.
Oh, I could have, like...
Faster!
Ow.
He's here. I'm ready for you, traitor.
Oh, I blocked him for, like, no reason.
He shot the coupling out. Gotta get down.
All right, making our way.
No!
Real spectacle shit. Oh, stay alive, and let's get out of here.
Whoa! This is bad.
Very bad.
Only way is up.
Really? Right now? I'm trying to survive a train. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. When you can.
Whoa!
This poncho is getting a lot of work. And we get saved by a random person.
We're here to help!
Who are you?
No time! Keep moving! We'll pick you up when we can!
Alright, good time to pause. And let's go for some squats! Squats, 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 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats.
Oh, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful. Thank you for being my biggest fan, Hendrix. What just... Nope. I heard something go boop boop. And I grabbed the wrong... I pressed the wrong button there. I was like, lightsaber out. It's like, no, 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 no. Alrighty. Let's start sprinting. Try not to die. Amazing that we don't have, like, close encounters with other trains.
Enemy located. I got it. Smash him.
Ow. That wasn't meant to happen. From any direction while blocking. Yep. Alright, let's try this again. I guess I was like moving too fast because there was both the...
Hurry, catch him! Move up already! Is this it? Shoot him down!
There we go. There we are.
Someone else attack him! Stay back, kid. Stay back!
Could you, like, stop? There we go. It would be nice if they just stopped swaying sooner. Get.
The train stopped?
Yeah, it looks like it stopped. Time to get... We're most likely going to get into our next big fight.
Oh, this can't be good.
Bombers. Whoa. Always never good. Alrighty, let's see if I can jump and get him.
Jump now! Hold on! No!
The poncho is weighing me down. Oh, god damn it. Cal, it's a good thing you're young. This is a fight. Put your predictions in the poll if I'm gonna succeed on the first go.
Going somewhere. I recognize that stance. Perhaps you've had some training after all. Who was your master? Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps?
No.
What Jedi gave their life so that you might live?
Instantly hitting the pause, so then that way I give people, like, you know, a little longer than 30 seconds to make their decision. What? Someone's putting down nah? You have such little faith in me. Oh my goodness. Such little faith. Alrighty then. Let's see. So, 100% into nay, 10 points.
Better than I thought. Very well. You won't dodge the next.
Alrighty. There we go. Oh! Faster! Faster! I succeeded. Unless I have to fight them again.
Get on board!
Just need to not be stuck.
Captain!
Uh-oh. Ooh. Close one. Turn off your lightsaber. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Not good. Why would you ever bother trying to shoot a Jedi? Easy. Because Jedi aren't, like... So, Jedi can be one of two things. They can either be insightful enough not to engage in a fight, or strong enough to take on a fight. Very rarely are Jedi meant to be both. A Jedi Knight is more often going to be one that's going to, you know, take part in the whole sword fighting and such, and those who are wanting to be Jedi Masters, but are not yet Masters, will normally try and avoid fighting altogether with, you know, without the, you know, the care for and such like that. Now, Mandalorians know how to take on a Jedi. They know that Jedi, they can sense intent, so they know when, you know, you're trying to fire on them at a certain point or anything like that. The Jedi are never dodging the laser through pure sight. They are normally dodging through like the intention of where the gun is, where it's pointing, and such like that. So the, you know, the clear means of being able to take on a Jedi are, you know, being able to subterfuge on your intent, or have the Jedi underestimate the attack itself. So, for example, when the Mandalorians had to deal with the fact that, you know, they had to deal with Jedi that could block blaster fire, they just, you know, used fucking flamethrowers. Because guess what? How the fuck are you gonna block a flamethrower? You can't. And then finally, when they picked up on the fact that they're able to deflect the lightsaber blasts, they then went to slug rounds, because what would happen is that the slugs would turn into molten lava and pass right through the blade, and just now they get hit with burn damage. And the only way Jedi can avoid, you know, getting hit with slugs and such like that is if they are in the master sort of area of dodging the attack themselves, which is, you know, an entirely different way of fighting. The best way of fighting Jedi is just, honestly, just, you know, not fighting them on their terms. They're expecting a fight with lightsabers or a fight with blasters. They're not expecting fights with, say, poison, grenades, shock, flamethrowers. They're not normally expecting, you know, you to break the rules.
How you doing? Yeah, the Mantis is my ship, but you better pay attention to this lady here.
So, who are you?
Cal. Kestis. Who was
Hi
that?
there, Fizz. Thank you for the head pats.
An Imperial Inquisitor. She's a Force user hunting Jedi survivors. And now that she knows who you are, she will not stop until she destroys you.
How do you know so much? And why'd you help me?
We track Imperial communications. We heard the Inquisitors were heading to Braca. So we made our move.
Oh, yeah? What's the bounty on Jedi these days anyway?
That's gratitude for you.
Look, I get it. You've been surviving on your own for so long that it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive. But this is about something bigger than just surviving.
Like what?
Like rebuilding the Jedi Order.
You too? Anybody else?
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
The Jedi Council?
Strength in numbers.
They're gone.
Imagine if they... What's the name of the tall-necked one? The one in Robot Chicken that they made fun of? Like, what's his name?
Captain.
Imagine if he actually survived. Imagine if they made that like a Disney canon thing. You're back. Sorry, was washing your hair. What did you miss? We took on... Actually, that reminds me. I need to conclude the prediction because someone thought I was going to fail that fight and die before we got to the next cutscene. And for some reason, something decided to crash on my dashboard. Hang on a second. But yeah, someone thought I wasn't going to survive my fight. But turns out I did. I succeeded. Get fucked whoever voted against me, who I think was Morse, actually, now that I'm looking back at, like, the chat. I'm seeing that they voted pink. They voted number 2. You lost your 10 points. You gotta get more people onto this thing. So, yeah. Next time I do big fights, like boss battle kind of stuff, I'll normally do, like, a prediction thingy-madiggy, okay? You got 60 seconds whenever I start them up. Put in however many points you want on the yay or the nay.
now.
I think you can do prediction/1 or slash prediction space 1 or slash prediction space 2 if you want to just select it, you know, quickly. Your lack of faces cost you dearly. It is 10 points, Morse. Such a lack of faith.
You were talking in your sleep. Weirdo.
Yeah, you're not too, like... Hey, look, we're no longer in the poncho. I really wish we had cooler outfits than just this and then poncho in different colors. Alright, can't do anything here just yet. Meow, meow. So yeah. Oh, wait. Is motion blur back on? No, motion blur is not back on. Why? Like, chat, this looks like motion blur, doesn't it? Ponchoned? Yeah. I am not a fan of the... Look, it might be sacrilege, but I'm not a fan of the poncho, okay? Like, if you wanted, like, flowy thingy-majiggy, give us Jedi robes or something. Like, as, like, an end game thing. Zebras are good Jedi? Yeah. I reckon we can be pretty decent Jedi. We'll have, like, better... We'll have better attempts at fights and what have you, because, you know, a lot of like, there is trickier fights than, you know, Second Sister when we first meet her. You stuck with the original look too? This is, well, this is technically not the quote-unquote original, but yeah.
You touch an object and witness events connected to it. You feel its history.
It's an echo in the force from the object.
Not many Jedi have that skill.
Quinlan Voss did, though.
You know that?
And we still don't know where he is.
I was once a Jedi, but not anymore.
Do I know you?
No. But I knew your master, Jaro Tapal. He was a true guardian of the Republic.
He was a hero.
He was fucking awesome, it was what he was.
Listen. Something happened to me during the Purge. I survived, but my connection to the Force is damaged.
Yeah, it's
when I
trauma.
meditate, if I let my guard down, I lose control. And it's like I'm back in that moment when...
You survived, Cal. And you're not alone. Not anymore.
We're coming up on our destination.
Oh yeah, he has like no clue where they're going. So, I'm glad that in the, like, as we're gonna get into the sequel. Oh my God, Hands, what are you doing? Hands, stop drifting. Hands, hand, stop it. Oh my God, it's getting worse. Why are you getting worse? Stop it. Stop.
This is Bogano.
This is a terrible
A Jedi
position to
I
put
knew
my
started
hand.
Before the Purge.
Hands.
You won't
there we
find
go.
it on any maps.
The Empire doesn't know this place exists?
No.
So, what's the plan? We hide out here?
We're done hiding, Cal. See that structure over there? I
Yes.
believe that vault holds the key to rebuilding the Jedi Order.
It looks like
But
a
it
chimney.
requires someone strong in the Force to pass its test.
And since you're not a Jedi anymore, that's why you need me.
I know you don't trust me. And I'm not really sure I trust you. But we have a common enemy. And a common cause. I'll share more of my plan after you reach the vault. But, until then, there's someone here I think you should meet. May the Force be with you.
And also with you. Oh my God, there's like a cool little, like, rat thing. You must reach the Jedi's giant novelty pepper mill. It looks a little bit like a pepper mill. Look at the tiny boys!
Jedi then.
Look,
There's already one here.
Hang on.
Why does Seer need me?
Look at these little things. Look at these little boys. Just popping in and out. Alright.
This looks like a safe place to meditate. Just need to focus my mind.
Ah, yes. The bonfire. Save points. Yep. Can rest, spend points to acquire new skills. They will also replenish any enemies that we had to take out. Skill points. Unlock a powerful slash that is deadly against weaker enemies using Y. Awesome. And then it unlocks, like, all kinds of new things. So, using skill points. Cal's maximum force is reduced. Holding slow allows Cal to slow his target for longer. Maximum health increases. Defenses are improved, allowing him to take less block stamina damage when blocking. And yep. The aesthetic is really lovely, Morse. And, you know, some people wonder, like, what the difference was between, you know, Star Wars and Star Trek. Because I think it was Porsche, they made they made, like, their own, like, spaceship or something like that. And it didn't have this Star Wars feel to it. And some people wonder what it is. But Adam Savage, I don't know who he heard it from, but Adam Savage said it best, which was that while Star Trek had the utopian feel, everything was clean, everything out of place, nothing was out of order, Star Trek was punk. Star Trek, you had to, like, cobble things together. Like, the Millennium Falcon, for instance, being called a piece of junk and such. It's like, that is the aesthetic of Star Wars, is nothing is... BD!
Hey, BD.
Hi.
I'm Cal. Yeah, I'm okay.
How do they understand them?
No, not you. Searching for a Jedi, I think. Hold on.
He is,
you know the Jedi?
He is the coolest boy, and I love that they featured. I don't know if it was the same robot, but they featured.
Thanks.
But they featured a BD robot in Whatsamahoozy in The Mandalorian / the Book of Boba Fett. They showed you, like, a BD robot.
Mentioned. Whoever I'm supposed to find must be waiting there.
Logic displays alone are so cool. Yep. Map. And then, yep. So we're trying to reach that vault. And we're all the way over here with, like, different ways to go about. Yep. Hollow map. Try experimenting with the hollow map controls. Yep, cool. Rotating, moving. Yep. I know exactly how to do this. Alright. Cool. Yep. They show unexplored paths. Yep, which is the yellow thingy-madiggies. Press B when you're ready to proceed. Yep. Awesome. Cool.
I sense something over here.
Yep. So, weird things over there. Alright, here we go.
That's a really big bug.
Nice. Didn't have to do the overhead thing. Okay, hang on. How?
No way through here. Guess that's why BD1 warned me.
Hang on, how was I supposed to... Ooh! The fuck is that? Oh, that's just another bug. Get another echo.
After boggling eggs in the pack pot back.
A dead splock. How am I supposed to... Have I just not unlocked it? Is that... I guess that's the thing. I just haven't unlocked it yet. Alright. BD1 is busy. Cool. There. Nope. That felt weird.
Any ideas? Gotta get across this gap somehow.
Beep beep boop boop boop.
A zip line?
And then... Oh! Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoa!
You just have to leap with faith.
How'd you know that would work? Wait, you didn't?
Rest. Life and force are being restored. Enemies have respawned. Yep. Alright. Can we go through here?
That's not opening.
No. And then we can't go that way because we haven't unlocked the whole running thing. So I just need to follow BD across. Yep.
Careful over there. That doesn't look safe. Just like back at the scrapyard.
Alright. And then drop down. Gives you this. Cool. And then we have these weird single bolt. Hey!
Hold on, BD1. I'm coming.
Uh-oh. No! Not our precious BD!
Hey, that was pretty brave. You okay?
He's got like his little sore foot.
Wait, I can help you with that. Will you let me? Oh, okay.
Man, droids have so much personality. I love it. Although this guy is like somehow like more adept and more like utility useful than an astromech.
But this should help you get moving for now.
Other than the fact that he does like a lot more stuff than an astromech normally is able to do, he's still awesome as fuck. Beep.
The vault. Yeah, that's where I was headed to. Okay, well, first we gotta figure out a way out of this place.
Ooh, a lot of weird stuff in here. All right, well, first
BD, that's a little small for me. Don't worry, I'll find my own way out. Tight fit, but this should work.
Yep, just walk in through here. New here. I'm half expecting to be able to pick something up. Alright. I like that they, you know, let you just use... It's like, oh, do you need a light source? Just use your fucking lightsaber. Oop. Alright, hang on. Then... There we go. Anything extra here? No. So, yeah, just literally just going. Boop. Ow.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Doot. Bapta injections.
Healing stim. You're full of surprises.
Oh, it doesn't even have like a little hole for him to do the stabbing. For all you know, he just stabbed into letter.
Okay, let's try this again.
Without, you know, getting electrocuted.
Okay. Here, hop on board.
It's cool that he's got the... Oh, there is no electricity anymore. Okay, cool.
So,
BD1 heals Cal with replenishable stims. Awesome.
Remember? I've never known a forgetful droid. Can't argue with that. Hey, a chest. Think the Jedi would mind if we grab supplies?
And then he just like goes it himself.
Oh, something was in there.
New emitter for the endo something or other. You can change lightsaber parts of the... Yes. Yep. Cool. That gives us a shortcut to be able to climb up here.
Hey there, BD1. That's where we need to go. I can feel it.
Awesome. Oh. Let's see. Can I, like, jump to different things? Can I jump? Nah, I can't jump to that, I don't think. I don't think I can jump to any of these. A lot of the gaps are a bit too big for me. The hell is that thing, though? Like, I never gotten an explanation for what the hell that, like, giant, you know, fucking lizard is. Jump. Great Divide. And then we got these weird creatures.
You mapped everywhere we've been.
Nice. Certain paths will be inaccessible until he possesses new abilities, and then this is to new elevations. Big boy.
I can't make it over there. We gotta find another way.
Alright, so... could jump to there. Yeah, so we got 2 different kinds of thingies, and then... is there a way for us to... okay, so we can drop down there if we wanted to. But there isn't... oh, actually, no, we probably do want to... oh, wait, we can just climb. There we go. This is good. Boing. Oh, the Binog. We'll probably get lore somewhere. Oh, would you look at that? A poncho material. You can change it anytime at the pause menu. Like, I hate to break it to you, but jacket is just so much better than any other outfit they give us. And then there's, like, cool squadron stuff. And then we can use this to rest. Rest to restore. Yep, resting, you know, that's fine. We need to go through those things. It gives us our stims back as well. And plus it means we can... it gives us, like, a means of being able to, like, you know, do level grinding and what have you, so... that's fine. Oh, another, thingy-majiggy to sense. Someone leaving their name on the wall.
This tool was used by someone eager to reach the vault.
Oh, you even get, like, experience for getting to those echoes as well, so... alright, fine. We're gonna jump. Alright, let's see if I can do the slice. There we go. Oh.
Run for it!
Oh, yes! Did it!
What?
Let's give it a quick scan.
Thanks for the help.
Ogdo. Highly threatened alpha. And there we go. I know exactly what I'm doing. If you could pick any kind of droid, what model would I pick? Oh, it would absolutely be the BD. I would want something I could carry with me. Like, astromechs, protocol droids, they're a bit big. Ooh, ow. But, you know, the BD, I can definitely get behind, you know, just a BD sort of, thingy. Alright, well, we can't get to that yet.
Can't get it to work.
And then that one is if we wanted to run across, which we can't do yet.
Toss it here.
Alright, let's give us a full health. And start climbing up this. So, a BD model. Like, I would want a small sort of droid. Oh, I could have, like, rested here if I wanted to. Alright, there we go. Yep, okay. Don't know what's different about him. Oh, it's the fish. There we go. And then a terrarium for a Calpy. Neat. Climb up here.
Help me, BD.
Okay, you don't need to be that loud with the whole "help me, BD." Alrighty, and then
I'll check it out.
thriving in rock and windy, where their low stance and adhesive okay, cool. Just more flora and fauna.
See something in there?
I'm guessing we need to learn how to do jumping and such. Oh. Oh, it's just learning to do a... Neat.
It's difficult, Master.
Yes, the path is difficult. It may seem impossible, but with persistence and the Force as your ally, you will overcome any obstacle.
Any obstacle?
Any path. Now, do what you
Will the
must.
Force help me get bitches? I don't think the Force will help me get women. Like, all right, here we go. Oh, Jesus! I effed that up. All right, hang on. So run. There we go.
Good. Again. Now, reach my position.
I did it.
There we go.
Persistence and the Force is my ally. Just remembering old tricks.
Mostly large gaps with grooved walls on the side. Yes, exactly. So this one here would have wanted me to, like, you know... It wants me to double jump, so then that way I can clear that particular barrier. Because, you know, otherwise I can't. And there's something breathing in the walls. But yeah, I now learn the, you know, the jumping thing.
Again?
Yep, I can now deal with that thing. So, I just need to get back up there now. So. There we go. Another echo sense.
This area was used for meditation. There's someone familiar with the Jedi Order.
Neat. Alrighty, so that was that direction. Now I just need to do this. But yeah, man, imagine... I don't know how I would feel about the Force being a real thing. Ooh, let's see what's over here. Is there anything here? No. Yes, there is this. More exploration.
Whoever owned this bag brought it from Coruscant. They were frustrated with the Jedi Council.
Alright. Quick meditation here. And... Yep. Rest real quick. Anything we can add to the skill tree? Using 2 gives us overhead slash. Attacking after a quick evade allows casters to perform a quick kick attack. Give me the survival skills, please. Alright, there we go. It would be cool to be able to do wall running. If I could learn how to do that, I think that would be awesome. Alright, yoink, and then jump. And then if I wanted to, I could attack that. Oop. Try and open you.
Back here. What was in there?
Another lightsaber switch. Awesome. New shortcut. Alright, this a ways. Anything cool here? Ow. I'm glad you guys can't, like, throw me off a wall. I'd be really pissed if you somehow, like, threw me off a wall. There we go. Alright. We can't open the other one, but we can at least open this one. And get ourselves...
But standing up to that bog rat? Pretty brave.
New lightsaber. Cool. Alright, and then... Dunk. And now we can run across this thing. I feel like I'm still getting motion blur when I shouldn't.
Racy there? Whoa, it's on.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to outrace this BD. Like, look at him go.
We're not finished yet. Okay, he probably would have won. Probably.
All right, meditate once more. Have a moment of reflection. And think about all the people we could kill with the Force. Meditation complete. All right. And then we interact with this thingy-madiggy. Hello! Hi there, Kiaru. Cookie! Here's your cookie. We're playing Jedi Fallen Order. We're playing Cal Kestis from Shameless. We're playing as one of the... I'm gonna be real with you. He's probably one of the cooler Jedi we've been able to play as. Do not besmirch this man. This guy, I can't remember his name, Morganson or something like that. This guy played one of the coolest Jedi and played as one of like the, you know, more interesting sort of Joker variants we've had so far. He has been awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, hello.
Okay, I'll look.
All right.
You all right, BD?
Hey, it's a Jedi.
You are. You have passed the test I left behind and gained access to the vault and this recording, one of many encrypted logs stored in the droid. I am Master Eno Cordova. I may not know your name, but I know your purpose. The fate of the Jedi Order lies in your hands. This place, this vault, is a sacred temple. Built by a
Because
vanished
Calvin
civilization known
Klein.
as the Zephyr.
Oh.
Meditating here, I was
Mr. Vin Klein. You almost... I was so confused. I thought you were talking about like an actual like person, not trying to do a wordplay of Calvin Klein.
containing a list of the names and locations of young Force sensitives throughout the galaxy. Ahead, you will find the inner chamber of the vault, but also another test. I can only trust this holocron to someone who has followed my path and understands. Seek out the hidden tombs of the three sages and
Sorry,
learn to
adjusting. I'm just adjusting my armchairs.
as the Zephyr once did. In this droid, you will find everything you need to succeed on this journey.
We're gonna keep this droid with
the
us.
Zephyr homeworld. There, you will find peace in the eye of the storm.
Absolute.
Good luck, Jedi.
Excuse me.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you.
I guess you were the someone I was supposed to meet.
We're gonna keep him around with us, and he's gonna be our bestest friend. He's gonna be our bestest boy.
You know, I've been alone for a while now. Without any purpose, just hiding. There's no way to live. Not for a Jedi. Or a droid. Maybe Seer was right. Maybe we're done hiding. Hey. You want to meet some,
Yes, kissing is too sexual. Kissing is apparently too sexually motivating. You cannot mention that you can be kissing the homies goodnight or anything like that. Alright. Now to get out of here. He is your Estus Flask. Yes. Like, it's interesting that they just call them healing stims instead of, I don't know, like maybe Bacta thingamadiggies. Use the holo table. Is there a way for me to fast travel using these things? No. Okay. Could have been a lot cooler if we did.
Sounds like you did. We'll be waiting.
Whee! Oh, hello. Is this gonna be a boss? No.
Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
20 victory squats? Yep, absolutely. Let's do 20 victory squats. Here we go. We killed the toad. 20 victory squats. You gonna do them with me, Bone? You gonna do the victory squats? Victory squats. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I keep hitting my mic. 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Bone. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, moving on. Can't jump to there. Jump to there if we want. Alright, we're gonna keep on exploring. You did them with me? Excellent, that's what I like to hear. Alrighty. Giant dinosaur. Although it just looks more like stone. Abandoned workshop. Nope, it's locked on this. Alrighty. Is there... Alright, let's...
I'll check it out.
Fuck is that supposed to be?
My friend, it appears the Zepho had some interest in Dathomir.
Uh-huh.
Strange. For such a peaceful culture to have any sort of fascination with a place so dark.
Violent? Oh, okay, dark. Let's go dark. That fossil looks like my grandpa's bone. It looked very stone-like rather than like bone, in my opinion. And that's most likely Kashyyyk. Can we open? Yay, it's open. And that's our shortcut. Awesome.
Should be a lot quicker than the way in.
Alrighty. And then jump across. Yep, climbing up is what we want to do. There we go. Oh, I didn't realize that pipe was there before. Oh, hello, good sir. Alrighty. Chat. Now, if you've played this game before, you might be familiar with the fact that there is maybe 1 or 2 particular enemies that people first came into contact with, and to put it bluntly, it made them want to fight. Alright, hang on. So, I just need to find the There we go. Alrighty. So... something there. Don't know how we can get to there. Unless... no. And then that gives us a thingy. We can't go that way. Nah. Unless, can we climb up? Nope. Alrighty, fine. We're climbing back out of this thing. We probably don't have the right thing.
Well, Master Dog paid me to say, Grant, you know I am a pacifist, but I would fight for you if someone hurt you.
Aw, I appreciate that. Thank you. But do not worry. I am capable of doing me own fights. The only dangerous thing in the water is the fans themselves. Oh yeah, the fans can be toxic as fuck. I think a lot of people, like a lot of new people are coming, are finding out, like either the easy way or the hard way that Star Wars fans do not have chill. Sometimes they're like, you know, absolutely despising whatever, whatever kind of, new thing Star Wars gives you. Alrighty then. Now comes the fun bit. Ogdo Bogdo. That's this guy's name. His name is Ogdo Bogdo.
Quote 314. This is a really tall wiener.
God damn you. Alrighty, let's have a look. Will I be able to succeed on defeating Ogdo Bogdo on the first go? Come on, chat. So this guy here, like, this. You know the troll in Dark Souls 2? Basically this. This was like the quote-unquote troll from Dark Souls 2 at the start, where it's like, they just added him in here. Ogdo Bogdo. He is hard. I had very little health. Alrighty. The Nas were correct. When you die, you lose all your XP since your last skill thingy-majiggy. Damaging the enemy who kills you will restore and to like full. So, yeah. Complete the prediction. Nah, I did not win. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that again. How did you know I stood there trying for ages? I knew. I knew we stood there because I've played this game before. I know what happens in these games. I've played this before. I know what I'm gonna deal with. Give me a hard one next time. You didn't vote in the last one. All right, let's... Are we dealing with... Yep, we're dealing with the frog again. So this isn't, like, the problematic frog. There we go.
Help me, BD1.
Alrighty. I was the 200. Nah. Well, you weren't voting in the last one, so you at least got your 20 points. So just need to make my way across the galaxy. Alrighty. Meditate at this one because it's a lot closer.
Quote
Rest.
317. Hi Bone, how is your 68 kilograms ass?
But yeah, we're gonna try this again. All right, attempt number 2. Jump. Oh Jesus. Alrighty. Let's get the predictions going again for Ogdo Bogdo. Plants out of the way. There we go. There's the one you were meant to do. Ah, yes, the kilogram ass thing. Alrighty, chat. Put your votes in. Am I gonna succeed, or am I gonna fail at Ogdo Bogdo again? Hi there, Ziggy. Welcome to the stream. I'm just running a prediction right now before I go into this fight with Ogdo Bogdo. The boss that made it so that we understood, oh, this is a little more like a Dark Souls game. Alrighty, let's see. We got 11% saying nah, and we got 89% saying yeah. Sorry, 89% saying nah, 11% saying yeah. Alrighty then. Let's have a try. Jesus. Come on. Oh, I need to be... Now! Oh, I got, like, not a lot of opening. Quick, help! Ah! I do not have a lot of opening. I can get, like, maybe hit twice, and then I'm dead. Alrighty then, so... The Nas got... Congratulations, I did not succeed again. Someone put in 500 points this time around. They won 560 points. Good on them. Alrighty, back into the game we go. Here we go. It was me. Man, Bone, you don't have much confidence in me, do you? I need believers in my chat. That's the only way I'm gonna succeed. I need believers. Do you believe, chat? You gotta believe. You gotta believe, right? First step is trying to believe. All right. Hang on. Gotta hit that pause, so then that way the first hit or what have you does not, like, influence the... Doesn't influence the points. You have 30,000 points? Wow. Why don't you just gamble the entire 30,000 then? Why don't you? Alright, we got a 50-50 here. Oh, yeah, we got a 50-50 here. Ow! Alrighty. Damn it. Toss it! Damn it. Help me! Yeah! Did it! Ogdo Bogdo is defeated. Damn it, I don't have the thingy-majiggy I need for that. But I have this. Oop, that's making a lot of vibration.
Where Bogling was killed. Was it trying to defend its family?
Alrighty, choose the outcome. I did succeed. I won. Congratulations, whoever the winner was. You was gonna bet yeah? Of course you were gonna bet yeah. Here we go. You just needed to believe, chat.
Bowmasky Dog has added quote number 376. Ooh, that a lot of vibration.
Yes, it was. Alrighty, so... Yep, and then... that, and then jump. Climb up. So that's Ogdo Bogdo done. Yep, you want us to go that way, because... Give me a minute. Do the prayer thing. Have a look at the skill tree. Alright, what can change? Superior blocking. Yep, that's a thing. Holding slow. Maximum force increased. Dash slide. Dashes forward and attacks his target. Jump while dashing to flip over the target instead, and it uses force when I do so. I'll wait till I get more skill points to figure out where I'm going. Alright, here we go. Yep. Then... jump. We climb up. And there we go. Don't know if I can jump across to that, but... And that's a zip line that takes us down there that we can run across. No. Alright, looks like we're jumping to this. And then... there we go. I felt a little bit of lag with that, but... hopefully it's not a problem. Meditate, do the rest, heals us for full, and gives us some stuff.
Quote 342. Don't steal my femur bone.
Yes, please don't. I very much still need to use it. Alright, so there was like a running thingy-majiggy that was over on this side that I want to like see if we can get done. Alright, so. There we go. And now we can do this thing. There we go. Alright, nothing worthwhile here. I think we can climb up this thing. Cool. And we can see that giant fucker. Want to explain 311? I don't know if I want to explain 311. Please do not do quote 311, please. Alrighty, take a hit, sure.
Stim crate. Should be here. Wait,
cool.
Can you carry more?
Yay.
Thanks, BD1.
That's cool. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, we have no way of moving this thing. And... yep, alright. Maximum number of stims has increased. Hi there, Jason. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing alright. We're playing a little bit of the Jedi Fallen Order game before I go and get into Jedi Survivor.
Quote 107. I just want my duck sucked. Is that too much to ask?
Yes, it is too much to ask. It always is. jump. Oop. And jump. Alright. So we did what we needed to do. Oh, Jesus. Not that way. Scope links must be repaired to operate this device. Didn't know that was something we could operate. Do the rest. Yep, cool. And then we leave. You're doing okay? How about you? I am fairly alright. My right ass cheek is sore for some reason. I don't know why. It's a little bit annoying because sometimes it makes resting a problem. What's up?
Okay, I'll look.
And then there's this tunnel thing. Oh, because, hang on. We can go here. Yeah.
Hey there, little guy.
Ah. I don't exactly have a way of opening that thing, do I? I don't have a way of opening that either. I don't have any clues. But yeah, for some reason, right ass cheek is sore. It's gonna feel real awkward as I go to sleep.
Well, Master Dog has added quote number 377. My right ass cheek is a little sore.
Wow, you gotta betray me like this, Bone. Alright. Give us the spiel.
Pass the test.
Yes.
So you knew about BD1?
Come on board. We'll talk inside.
Why did you leave BD1 on, like, on this
BD1
planet
disagrees.
instead of bringing it with us?
What is that?
It's a robot.
Get off my sofa! Don't! Get out of there! Get out!
That is BD1. He's with us.
I don't care who he's with. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get oil stains out of petroleum fabric?
Not really.
Oh,
Not my problem.
Found something better out there than this droid.
Oh, calm down, Grease. He did. Tell us, Cal.
We need to get to
The vault was built by an
Zepho.
ancient civilization called the Zepho. A Jedi named Eno Cordova hid something inside of it.
What did he hide inside?
A holocron from the archives. It contains a list of Force-sensitive children.
The next generation of Jedi. I knew it! Ah, Cordova, you old fool.
You knew him?
Yes.
Wait, my left ass cheek has been mentioned in the quotes before?
Cordova was a loner. That little droid and I are probably the only ones that know about Pagano.
Hold on, wait a minute. A hollow what?
A holocron. It stores information, but only accessible
I'll
to
need to
Jedi.
double check the quotes channel in my Discord, because that keeps... that's meant to keep track of all of my,
Use the Force.
all my stuff.
Quote 297. What is with my leftist cheek?
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen.
Damn.
Quote
With that list of Force sensitives, we could rebuild the Jedi Order and defeat the
Hi, Code. Welcome to the stream.
No problem. Let's get it.
I don't have any cool, like, you know, Star Wars attire for this game just yet, but if I had time, I'd want to make a Jedi robes and a lightsaber. I want to get, like, a lightsaber as an alternative instead of the gun, but I feel like that would take a lot of work.
Before we do anything,
So...
I need to know
Plus,
something.
I want to scratch the top of my foot. Hang on.
How come you're no longer a Jedi?
Because she nearly killed her power
An
one.
experience that changed my perspective. So I cut myself off from the Force.
You just doing the washing and got the night shift? I saw the mention of you having to be on the night shift, and I'm sorry to hear that.
We have against the Empire.
Hopefully you get paid.
What do you believe?
I believe
scratching
I
the
can't
top of
keep
my
hiding
foot.
from the Empire, so I don't really have a choice.
Cal, as long as you're alive, you will always have a choice.
Very limited in choices while being alive, quite frankly, so...
We're in.
Near Zepho. It's your choice.
Zepho first. We can't do much in Dathomir, quite frankly, so...
Master Dog has added quote number 378. I want to just scratch the top of my foot.
Thank you, Code.
Next.
Alright, so that's there, and so that's Zepho, Bogdo.
Simplify these nuts.
Zepho.
Ah, Zepho. My favorite place.
You've been there before?
Today, our great military is dedicated to enforcing the laws of the Empire, yielding to no one who seeks to destroy our galactic harmony.
You hear that garbage?
Turn it off, Breeze.
Lying imps. Do you think anyone buys this junk?
Too many on the core worlds. Their daily lives haven't changed much since the Empire took over.
Oh, come on. Some of them are even richer than before. Not like the expendable worlds. Not like Lateron.
As long as the Emperor keeps the right people happy, it'll never stop.
That's why we need the Jedi.
Then we better get this hollow thing fast. All right, kids, sit down. We're here.
All right, traveling. Sorry, you made the mistake of going to Dathomir first. There is like a temptation to go to Dathomir for like one or two particular reasons, but you don't get a lot of advancement in going to Dathomir
Those winds are
first.
interfering with our comms.
Hey, Cordova mentioned something about peace in the eye of the storm. Well, I can just make out a settlement in the middle of it.
Then we have to get there.
Copy that.
Yeah. Clearly he doesn't like it that we're trying to get there. It was Bone that quoted that. Yeah, sorry, I got confused. I saw Bone do the quote, and then I saw Code do the, you know, the TTS. So my brain got mixed up.
Tell that bucket of balls to keep his opinion to himself.
I'm sure everything's under control.
Of course, it's under control. It's just a little tricky.
Jesus.
Okay, hold on. Oh! Huh. Perfect landing.
Excellent.
Easy money, baby.
But I'm still getting a lot of interference on the comms. It's gonna take me a minute to get them back up.
Sounds like a good time for me to explore.
Good. I'll be in touch once I crack this.
Alrighty.
Cal, over here. You did good work on Bogano.
Yep.
The more information we gather on Cordova and the Zepho, the closer we'll get to stopping the Empire.
I've heard of ancient cultures, but don't know much about them.
I only knew that Cordova was obsessed with the Zepho, believing their teachings to be important. I, too, was intrigued by the mysteries of our galaxy.
Well, yeah, because they were like force sensitive as well, but they didn't follow like the same doctrine as, you know, separating it via Jedi and Sith.
I can see you two have been through.
Hi there, Furry Cures. Welcome to the stream.
No, it's not. But I think of those who believed in me at one point. If I give up on myself, then I give up on them. I'm sure you have a few of those.
Prof. Friend on Braca. He sacrificed himself so I could live.
He believed in you. A lot of people depend on you, even if they don't know it yet. Keep going, Cal. For Prof. For everyone.
Will do. But before that, I need to do something very fun. Not that, not the meditation. This. We can now customize the lightsaber. We have the choices between blue and green. I'm gonna stick to blue. Get the cool looking thing. Valor and wisdom. There we go. Get a cool looking one. I don't... And then he just like fucking slices through... He just slices through bits of the ship while he does it. It's always silly saying that. You got cheated out of being first. Oh, look, it wasn't on purpose, okay?
Hey, Grease, what's this thing?
What?
Let me see if I can fix it. Let me see if I can fix the queue, alright?
I've been a bit busy hauling you around the
Inspect when queued.
But you know, you could pay me back with some seeds.
I thought you hated nature.
When it's out there, you betcha. But when it's behind
Congrats.
Alright, I'll see if I can find any.
Alright, well, we got your thingy-majiggies, so we got the Calpy. Yippee! So yeah. No, look, I'm not a fan of the red lightsaber crystal, to be real with you. I'm a purist in a way. I very much like going for I very much prefer going for like blues. Maybe a green if I felt like, you know, masterful or something like that, but I'm not. So just blues for me. To create the color, you need to bleed the crystal. Yeah, so in what's-a-mahoozy, in the Darth Vader comics, weird that we got like Darth Vader in it. Like, oop, hello.
Huh?
Mr. Pickles, thank you for the follow.
Find something?
Thank you for the follow. Any whoosies. But yeah, the red lightsaber crystals. We learned in the Darth Vader comics that the method that it's done is that you're meant to, like, a normal kyber crystal is then, you know, taken by a Sith or Dark Force user, and it's corrupted into, you know, serving the Sith in a way. For some reason, like, that's the hallmark between the Jedi and the Sith, is that while the Jedi find their kyber crystal and the one appropriate for them, the Sith force the kyber crystal to work for them.
Watch out, BD. You don't look friendly.
At least these guys, like, slice in half.
Moving out.
Moving on. And then bleed it, yeah.
Jason 036 thinks you should do
Ow.
20 squats.
All right, time for squats. Here we go. All right, move you aside. Stretch. Stretch for the big boy. Big stretch for the big boy. Think it's anything non-humanoid that can be bisected? Yeah, I think that's how they've decided to go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you for the head pat, Mr. Pickles. 10, 11. Cookie for Mr. Pickles. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Jason. Alrighty, moving on. Yonk. Jump.
Mr. Nine Pickles paid me to say you are cool.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Mr. Pickles. Wait, are you going to be like a demonic Mr. Pickles, like in the cartoon Mr. Pickles? Or are you just being a funny Mr. Pickles, like Pickle Rick?
Mother used this fabric to keep her child warm. You were on the run from something.
Like Pickle Rick. Awesome. Cool. Alrighty.
Ready for
another stim?
And there we go.
Oh, I don't care what
no,
gender
Jason!
you are. Put on the maid outfit.
Are you kidding me? I don't like this. I don't like the maid outfit. Why you gotta put me in the maid outfit? Maximum number of stim canisters increased. Gosh darn you. I don't like the maid outfit though. Alright, hang on. Can I jump to here? Yes, I can. Awesome. Still cute now.
Can you hear me?
The Empire. They found Zeppo.
Stop looking at my
If
tits.
they were following the Mantis, we would have been swarmed already.
Could they be looking for the tombs?
Let's hope not. Just got our comms working. I'll try the same workaround to crack into theirs.
All right, new shortcut. Excellent.
We're next. We didn't train for this. Am I all that's left?
We didn't train for this. Am I all that's left? Bank. Yes. You will self-bunk. Lol. Okay.
Becky. Lem smash.
Bonk.
Hello.
If I don't like the maid outfit, why do I have to redeem? Because people still want it. I will just have to make it like an even more expensive redeem then. Because clearly... Hang on. Where's BD wanting to go? Alright. Oh, Imperial stuff.
I'll check it out.
This entire chat is just too horny. As I'm, like, just fuming now.
Enemy spotted. Jedi's on the move. More coming.
Hookie for the doggo.
Toss it here.
Alrighty, let's have a look. Yep, I see you too. Like, look at that. That should have, like, bifurcated them. But instead, it just, you know...
What's this?
It just, you know, did a slice.
Afraid of getting hit? You killed them all.
Where's the buddy? Nice headshot. Also, thank you, Zadago, for checking your Q rating. What's happening here? Ah, Zepho stuff.
It's all lies. The Empire just wanted this land.
He hoofed and he puffed and he signed eviction notices. There we go.
I see you down there.
I see you down there. Reflex. Thank you for the boop, Zadago. Ah, cool. Didn't know that was an option. But...
Sipping time sponsored by Z_Doggo.
Alrighty then, sippy time. Sorry, I drank that a bit too quickly.
Time sponsored by Z_Doggo.
Stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! I wonder if I should... Excuse me. I wonder if I should combine those two redeems. So instead of it being sippy and stretching, it should just be like, you know, self-care or something like that. Big stretch for the big boy. Alright, let's see if I can dodge him. Alright, annoying. I probably didn't need to use that particular stim.
Oh, okay.
Yep, cool.
So what was in there?
Another lightsaber sleeve, yes please. Hell yeah.
An enemy. Here? I got you.
I'll get better at this, don't you worry. I'll be an absolute master at all this combat. Alright, and then that wants me to, like, push it open, obviously, but no point in doing it that way, so we're gonna keep on going. And plus, there's a little meditation thing so I can get my thingy-majiggies. That would be good? Okay, so yeah, I'll look into combining the two and maybe coming up with something else, like... Because I put a bit too much work into the stretching animation, you know, for what it's worth. Like, I could have definitely have gone for something else. Alright, let's have a look. Leaping slash. Another powerful slash after the overhead. Increases thingy. So we can go dash into kick. Yeah, I think we'll go dash into... Yep, cool. So he dashes forward into kick. So then that way it's like when I do the side, like, push away, then I just, like, you know, kick him. Alright. Moving on. Cool dungeon. It's cool having like the mix of Dark Souls and Megalovania, because I feel like that's probably one of the aspects missing from the Dark Souls series, is if they can somehow incorporate a little bit of the Megalovania kind of work into their builds, so then that way, you know, they can go back to their small interconnected maps. Cool. We can now see what the F is going on. Metroidvania. Sorry. No. What did I say? Megalovania or something? Mm-hmm. Ow. There was another one of you? Damn.
That looks like a problem.
Got rid of their horn. Easy.
It's made. Close one.
Alrighty. Philak. Hi, code.
I'm hungry. I don't think we're alone here. Enemy Can we win? I know I'll get you. Strike him quickly. Got him. All allied units down.
Don't you dare shoot a rocket right in front of my face. That is not gonna work in your favor, sir.
I'll check it out.
Oh, wasn't high enough. Oh, Jesus. I'm an idiot. There we go. Now that's high enough. Nope, that didn't work either.
Will help.
There we go, and then jump. Ow! Why you gotta throw knives at me?
Whoa. That's gotta be one of the Zepho. Guess we're on the right track, huh,
Yep,
BD?
that does look like one of the Zepho.
Intruder there. Dodge this. If you say so. Focus on his guard. You don't scare me.
You should be scared of me, considering I was able to just block every one of your lasers. Oh, hello. Can I open this? Yay, new shortcut. From where?
Huh?
Oh.
My friend, in the rotation since I left Pagano, I've uncovered more about the Zepho than I once believed possible.
Uh-huh. Ah, I see how I ended up here. You ever played the Ninja Gaiden games? No, I have not. I've heard those have been very difficult, and it is not worth trying to play them, however. They're not in my to-do list, unfortunately. Or, fortunately, sorry, not unfortunately. Fortunately, they are not in my to-do list. Instead, the games I have in my to-do list are the Final Fantasy series.
I don't want to die here.
The Final Fantasy series, the Yakuza, and Dead Rising. Can I just... Yep, cool. I can climb up there if I want to and take on these... Yunk. Ah, this is so then that way if I wanted to, I could just come back up from here. Oh, I see. Rocket Man. I need to be careful of Rocket Man. And then jump. Swing. Ow. Alrighty.
The Jedi is here.
Yep. Let's...
You won't kill me.
Bonk. Still got him. He's a lot more resilient than the other ones. If you want someone to run Dead Rising 2 off the record in 3, you're more than happy to help. Excellent! I have not yet gone through the first Dead Rising. And then... Damn, how did I not get attacked by the rat?
There, Hannah. Take care of us.
Need a stem.
Get the stem. Alright, well, we can't do anything about this wall.
I can't push it.
At least not yet. But we can at least meditate here. Alright. Rest. Yep, cool. Thingamaddiggies. You've been in all of them on the 360, and then number 4 on the PC. Excellent.
On the target. Your turn. I can't get through. I've got him. If you say so. I'm after him. Stop.
Slice and dice. There we go. Alright. We need... Yep, so we need a scope link to open up that thingamadiggy, which is obviously our, like, you know, shortcut. So we can't open those two things. That's a way of getting in and out of somewhere. Where does this go? I've not... I think I've played 3. Yeah, I think I played 3. Because I'm not a...
I heard. They plan to bring Zepho artifacts to Coruscant.
Does that mean?
That the Emperor is interested in Zepho? Maybe.
Alright, so that requires a scope link as well. Alright, what's this? O-Star grunting and a stormtrooper streams.
Got a trooper.
The prequel to 2 and the Case West on 360. What are those? Yeah, bonk. And then, yeah, don't need to go all the way there. I can just...
You won't get me. Your guard is pretty solid.
Alright. Note to self, I can still take the stamina thingy. Alright. And then that is to help me get down from somewhere.
You're not getting out of here alive, Jedi. Talk all you want. I only need a few hits.
There we go. Did it. Alrighty. That goes to that, which I can't open because that requires a scope thingy. Time to climb up using only my arm strength. Jesus Christ, Cal. Insane levels of strength here. Oh, hello. Open this.
All right then.
Arm. Oh! Alright, let me fix that. So, playing this game, even though it's from 2019, I think the CPU might be having a little bit of issue in trying to run all the things that I want. So, I am most likely going to be playing Jedi Survivor on the PlayStation then. That kind of sucks. Oh, excuse me. That kind of sucks, to be honest, because, you know, with the Xbox Game Pass, I would have gotten a discount for purchasing it through EA's, like, store. But now I have to purchase it through PlayStation where I don't get the discount. Where do you go from here? Like, I can't jump to that. Can't jump to that either. Oh, hang on. There's a rope there. Nope. Damn it. Or use a PNG tuber. I could probably do the PNG tuber. I could probably use a PNG tuber. It's just I'd have to then, like, work on all this extra stuff. And that's me dead. I'd have to, like, you know, redo, like, a lot of the redeems that I have and such like that and make them work for a PNG tuber. So... And what's more is the PNG tuber still uses, like, some of the CPU as well, so... Yeah. It'd just be, like... It'd just be easier for me to just remember to go for,
I'm gonna find my opening.
I just need to remember to purchase it via the, you know, the PlayStation Store instead of, you know, the PC Store is all.
Talk all you want. I only need a few hits.
It would be nice if you just stopped backing away when I'm trying to get my hits onto you. Alright. Climb up. So. And then run across. Drop down. So, and what's more is, like, I don't have a PNG with me in the maid outfit or anything like that. And I'd need to, like... It would just take a lot of work when, you know, the quicker solution would be just play it on the PlayStation. Alright, so we can use... Cool. Oh, we give ourselves a shortcut now from there, which is helpful.
Almost got him.
Give me my stuff back. There we go. Don't know how they were expecting me to, like, take care of a rocket of all things.
There's still no results. I wonder what's gonna happen to us. Stop your worrying. We're not the ones in trouble.
Does this turn something useful on? Hopefully so.
In accordance with the Emperor's will, we've occupied Zepho, redistributing its inhabitants. This planet has failed to yield significant data or relics for Project Augur. Its electromagnetic winds have rendered the bulk of our mining technology useless.
No idea what Project Augur is.
Stormtroopers lose their lives to dangerous fauna. We will not be here. It is a recommendation that we disband the project and allow prisoners from stealing our technology.
Alright, open this.
Oh, alright then.
Alrighty, now I need to do the fun. Whee! There we go. I know how to do this.
Oh, okay. Did you find something, BD1?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I didn't perfect that, but I was close. And that one was even worse. Okay, note to self. Do not try and catch it on the way in.
Cal,
there we go.
The Empire's pinpointed your location. You need to
now I got it.
On it.
Let me just do the meditation thingamajiggy here. I think I have a skill point as well. Yes, I've got 2 skill points actually. Let's have a look. So we've got sprint strike, we got the leaping. All right, I'm gonna get the superior blocking because I need more of that. And then let's go for the force attunement, so then that way I have like more Jedi force in me then. All right, here we go.
Shouldn't have come here. Can you hit him?
Bonk.
Up now. He's dead. Does not look good. Someone else attack him! Steady. Concentrate, someone. Anyone? Help!
Come on.
That's a hit.
There we go.
Really need a stem.
All right, what's in this thing? Beep 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 boop beep boop beep boop beep 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 beep. There we go.
It was in there.
And a new paint for the mantis. Whee! Real Indiana Jones fun right here. Hopefully we don't miss anything. And then, oop, jump.
I found something.
What do they know?
No mention of Cordova. I don't think the Empire knows he's been here.
Then we have the advantage. For now.
Awesome. What's this? Weird slag.
This is a waste of time. What is Crane playing at? Impossible that anything useful is in here.
Questionable use. Fair enough. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Oh, my eyes are feeling a little strained. Alright. Like, look at this. Like, all these slices, and they don't, like, go through the stone. And then... there we go. And then anything new in here?
That's interesting. We're on the right track.
Yeah, but we have like no means of opening this thing. So most likely we need a ball or something. Nyom. And another force push I don't have.
Can't get through.
There we go.
There's a storm up ahead. Something about it crippled the Empire's equipment. I can feel something pulling me there, beyond the storm.
Follow it.
Will do. We'll follow it. Alright.
Let the Force sharpen your instincts.
All right.
Part of me feels tempted of like... I know it would be a bit... It wouldn't be like too great, but, you know...
Another one of these. Wonder if they connect.
Like, I have the thought of maybe, because I have to go to work the next day, and with the mix of that and a little bit of the eye strain I'm feeling, because, you know, working all day in front of a screen, I might end the stream shortly. I don't... Ow. Ah. Excuse me. Alright. How far away am I from that? I shouldn't be too far. And what's more is I didn't use any of my stims either. It's just not in my conscious thought process to do the stim work.
Help me!
Yeah. It might be one of those kinds of nights. Alrighty, chat. Let's see. Can I at least get into the temple first? Not the tempo, the temple. Alrighty. There we go. I just needed to be like a little bit slower and I got it. Alrighty. Come on, big boy.
Now! Help!
There. And then tink. Oh, new flowers. Gilly pod.
These things are pretty cute.
Alright. Probably nothing to it while it's there. Head over here. Drop down.
I need a stim.
Stim up.
Better.
Oh, and the stim doesn't even like fully heal me from the looks. I can see like a tiny sliver that is not healed. Ah, yes.
Never
Wind.
seen a storm do that before. Yeah, it's incredible.
My friend, I believe this to be the earliest Zepho site we've uncovered yet, despite my reservations. I cannot chase the Bogano vault from my mind. Its vision shaped the direction of an entire culture. I must understand why.
Excuse me.
I'm in the tomb.
No
sign of him.
What about Cordova?
Still not sure what I'm supposed to find. He's a little
eccentric? Tell
Yeah,
me
it doesn't
about
want to move.
But he wouldn't send us here for his amusement. Keep an open mind.
Yeah, okay. Drop it that way. Oh, but I can go up here.
Do you see that? Ugh.
Alright, well, we can't deal with that. Time to move big balls. Yep, great big hunkin' tonkin' balls. Gotta try. Don't know how well we'll try, but we'll try.
Good job.
Skungus. Easy. Just need to avoid them. There we go. Alright. And we just have that random ball there. There. Yep, blocks and defects are still effective. Awesome. Jump up. And past all these, what I could only think are urns in a place like this. Alright. Up we go, and turn this thing. There we go, and jump. I've done this particular kind of puzzle before. Like, a lot of this is not new to me. Alright, give it a rest. Grant, not all Himbo. Not in the puzzles. Not in where it counts.
Furry1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty then. 20 squats it is then. Alright, did the big stretch for the big boy. And I'm now into him squats. Big stretch for the big boy. Ow, why is my ass so sore? Here we go. First it was my left cheek, then it's now my right. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Furrycures 1221 paid me to say 6.
8, 9. You can't fool me. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for the 20 squats, Furry Cures. Thank you for the 20 squats. Whew. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so there's a giant ball there. There's a thingy here, which moves it forward, giving us this. Cool. Yoink. And then we climb up this thing. Alright. Onwards. Convenient rope is convenient. Anything in these pots? No? Well, that's annoying. I thought there was going to be something in the pots. Although this isn't a Zelda game, I shouldn't be expecting, like... Nah, nothing in the pots. Okay, is he expecting me to... Yes. Alright, so what I should do is start from further onwards and make it across. Lol, got killed by the skunk thingies. Yonk. Here we go. Running across now. Yonk. Boom. And now we've got all these guys. Alright, I got an idea. They want us opening this.
Ugh. Guess a lightsaber can't solve everything.
Oh, I need to keep it running in order to... Alrighty then, fine. Woo! Extra jump.
Never seen that before.
Oh. Ow.
Help! Them!
That's it. Alright, well... The bot's destroyed, at least.
I'll check it out.
Alright, and then this for the extra jump. And slide in through here. Nothing important there, so we're running... Nothing important there. And then more stuff here. A Zepho holding an orb.
What'd you find?
Is this where we're gonna learn to do the force push? Would be cool if we could. Yep, gotta be careful. Ow.
Focus. The Jedi do not seek aggression, but we stand against it. The Force is there to shield
Gotta
us.
go put my phone to charge. See dudes, a lot of dog kisses and all. Bye bye. Not to worry, Zadoggo. Thank you for coming along. Glad you came along.
Try again. Good. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
Use the Force to push the ball at the target.
3, 2, 1.
Faster now. Complete the test.
Yep, his robe is doing a thing.
It stands in the way. It's the way.
Neat. And we now have a new thingy.
My friend, take a look at the detail on this bark.
Wait, bark?
Distinctive striations. It can only be a Rocha tree from Kashyyyk. It's time to call on an old friend.
Uh-huh.
If the Zepho had contact with Kashyyyk, there is a good chance Chieftain Tarful will know about it.
Ow. Oh, jumped too soon. And jumped too soon again. There we go. I didn't, like, properly read the guide on, like, you know, oh, what they wanted me to do once I... There we go. Opened. And I think it brings us back here. Yeah, it brings us back here. Awesome. Use the hollow table on the mantis. Yep, sounds good to me. Alright, so let's have a look. Regains more force when he defeats an enemy and regains more when he hits a blocked enemy. Holding push allows to push groups at and stagger. Yep, cool. Increase maximum life. Additional when using canisters. Maximum life is increased. They automatically deflect Baster bolts while he is sprinting or wall running. I'm gonna turn that one on, because that's gonna be useful. And we rest. Cool. Get our meaty shots back. Alright. We don't take on that. I am really curious if I can, like... I can use it to damage him, it's just not for a lot. Oh, and his thingy-majiggy will, like, still go through. Help! Yep. The one time I did the force push, and I don't know how I did it. Alrighty, so force push it that way. Okay, I know what it wants me to do. Oh wait, hang on. No, that's incorrect, actually. I don't need to, like, have it go, you know, onto the tracks. I can just... There we go. I can just have it go onto this thing. There we are. That's it. And then... So we got that there. And then this here. We need to get another ball, which should hopefully be somewhere along our journey. 2 balls. Hey, another ball. Exactly what we need. There we go. Oh, hang on.
help? Good timing.
Cool thingy.
My friend, this tomb is utterly fascinating.
Alright, let's break this open. Okay, we can't break that open then. We need to get another ball. Oh, I forgot we can break open this thingy majiggy now. There we go. Go. Did it. Yeah, my goodness, my eyes are not feeling. My eyes are not feeling all that hot right now.
This was deliberately destroyed. I can still feel the hate of the act.
Cool, but not what we were after. There was a... Oh. There we go. And then there's probably a way to... Because that will open that. Alright. And then... There we go. That's how we get our third ball. Go, and then it's gonna go there. And then it goes in here. Did it. Alright, here we go. Oh. Alright, let's climb that back up this thing again. Oh, they wanted me to come in from this side. Okay. I thought they were trying to get me to jump to the thingy-majiggy that was there. Awesome. Alright, well... Oh, and then I can push this off. There we go. Dropping it in that. Which probably does something. Alright, we go back up.
The Zeppo went to Kashyyyk. Cordova mentioned someone named Tarful.
A Wookiee chieftain. They were old friends.
Think he's still around?
There's only one way to find out. We have to go to Kashyyyk.
I guess we're going to Kashyyyk. Ow. I'll stop the spinnies. I'll do it one more time, though. Yeah, I turned off motion blur, but it still got it going. Alright. Meditate here. I'm actually gonna go and stop the stream here, actually. Hang on a second. Bing. Let's start the music again. I know it's like a little bit early, but, you know, eyes are feeling a bit funky. I just been like staring at screens all week, and I don't know why. It's just been a very sleepy sort of week is all. Like, I've not done too much in terms, like, in the evenings after work for the, like, last few days, but, you know, I still think we went through, like, a pretty decent chunk of Star Wars, quite frankly. I will be back online tomorrow evening, don't you worry. I may have to go to work tomorrow morning, but tomorrow evening, we're going back into MMOs. We got more Final Fantasy 14 to go through, and then depending on what my mood is Sunday morning, it will be, you know, either the Kingdom Hearts game or more of Star Wars. I should really think about getting a Star Wars shirt. Until I can get Jedi robes, I should at least have a Star Wars shirt, like something simple, like either the Rebel Alliance or the Jedi Republic insignia. I think those would be good ones. Before you guys all disappear, however, I would like to go for a little raid. Let's see who is online. Let's see. I've not seen Kahlua in a long time. Do they still stream? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Space Yeen. Ooh, Gwillem is playing a little bit of Dwarf Fortress. Cosmic Will's doing Cult of the Lamb. Renslayer is doing Dredge. Let's see, how's Gwillem going in this thing? Oh, is Gwillem just starting, actually? Alright. And then, how's Cosmic Wolf doing? Thank you for the stream. Not to worry, Furry Cures. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Cosmic Wolf is 2 hours into their thing. Is it his birthday or something? No, it doesn't say. Alright. We are going to go for... Yeah, we're going to go for Gwillem, alright? He's just starting his stream. He's just starting Dwarf Fortress. It should be good. I very much wish I had Gwillem's programming chops. I very much wish I did have that kind of skill, but unfortunately I don't. So they're going to be a really cool streamer to watch. They got a very lovely voice as well, so we're going to go and raid into them. If you are subscribed to me, you are more than welcome to use the emotes in our raid message, Himbo Raid. Show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. Otherwise, you're welcome to use whatever other kinds of emotes you want. And other than that, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I will be back online tomorrow for Final Fantasy 14. If you want to keep up to date, follow me on Twitter or check out the Discord that I've got going, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.